All right, and welcome to another Friday Reload. Friday Reload number 8. Now, what we aim to do is get you caught up on what you might have missed in the week. The Friday Reload cuts through the fluff and summarizes the best posts, news, and videos of the week. Now, some of the headlines this week include 3 layers to better Facebook campaigns, Facebook Audience Insights explained, in defense of the pop-up, and working for free, question mark. So let's jump right in here, and our very first story is from us. Now this was a Triggercast that I had with Phil Newton, how to build a list with Facebook traffic and the funnel to monetize it. Now, if you did listen to this on the podcast, I would highly recommend that you check out the blog post as well, especially to see his funnel. I have it in a slide share, as you can see here below. And a quick kind of fun fact, I'll check it actually right now. I uploaded this slide share to my own personal account because I just wanted to get it up there. And the slide share as of right now has 958 views. Now, it literally just says process flowchart by Phil Newton. I don't know if for some reason, I don't know where a lot of these views are coming from, because it had around 500 views before I even came out live with the blog post. So a little interesting tidbit there about SlideShare, and SlideShare in general is a great place to go to find good content. I know a lot of people say that. I remember Lori Taylor mentioned it in a interview I did with her. So little hat tip there. Check out SlideShare. So head on over to the blog to check that out. Now our next story is the 3 layers to better Facebook campaigns. Now we all know that Facebook has made a lot of changes, and Joe Troyer made us a video showing how he runs his ads using the 3 layers process that he calls it. Now it's a very simple process that is very powerful, and basically what you do is it's a way of setting up your targeting and how you set up your ad as far as split testing and what you do with the images, in a way that's provided very good success for him in campaigns. Now next up, this one's kind of interesting. So this is actually a lesson coming to us from my May 2014 monthly income report by Pat Flynn. Now when this popped up in my reader, which I was looking at to figure out the articles for this week, I was actually watching the Germany-US game. So apologize if I'm not quite as lively. I would have liked for US to win, but hey, we are going on to the second round, right? So anyways, Pat posted this report, and I decided I would scroll through it. I was curious, hey, maybe I would have some takeaway, and sure enough, there was. So Pat was talking about, let me see if I can find it exactly. Basically, he was talking about how Google AdSense accounts can get banned, Facebook accounts can get banned. We've seen article directories get slapped. Basically when these very large companies, Google, Facebook, YouTube, eZine Articles, Squidoo, whoever it was at the time that you're using for these traffic sources. Well, when they make a change and you're dependent on that one channel or medium, you get hurt very badly. So how can you soften the blow if this were to happen? And the quick answer that he has is to diversify and feed people into your email list. Oh, he also mentions to export that list from your email service provider every once in a while to actually have that list on your hard drive somewhere in case that provider were to shut down. Now, I think this is a really good point. Time and time again, we reinforce the power of an email list. And this is another reason why. It's kind of that backbone of most digital businesses. So make sure that you're growing your email list. So regardless of what happens with Facebook engagement or what Google does next, or even your own paid traffic campaigns, at the end of the day, you still have this email list that you can leverage and you can use. I mean, look at what we've seen with Facebook custom audiences. The people that have done extremely well are the people that have an email list already. Speaking of Facebook and audiences, Facebook Audience Insights are finally live. So here we are on the AdStage blog, where they show you in this wonderful looking GIF some of the different things that you can do with Audience Insights. Now, for those of you listening, Some of the different things you can do is you can view the demographics, so age, gender, lifestyle, etc., page likes, location and language, Facebook usage, and purchase activity. So you can find out these different information about audiences, such as people on Facebook in general, people connected to your page or event, people and custom audiences you've created, and more. So this is very powerful stuff. I mean, you can check out Facebook as a whole. You can see people that are connected to your page, or if you have that email list and you upload it as a custom audience, now you can pull data, you can pull insights on it, and who knows how long you've been marketing to your email list, and you might not even know the largest age demographic that's on it. Well, guess what? You can find out that information now, and you can find it out very easily. So we also wanted to provide you with two resources here on kind of how to use Facebook Audience Insights. So Ryan Skelly, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Area 51 Facebook Ads, released a video where he teaches you, quote, how to use the new Facebook Audience Insights to research your niche quickly and easily while setting yourself up for success. Now, this is a really great video. It's around 25 minutes, so you've got some meat, but it's not too lengthy. And it's good to check out if you're still getting familiar with it or you want to see how to use Audience Insights to its full power. Social Media and Examiner also posted a pretty nice step-by-step post, how to use Facebook Audience Insights, what marketers need to know, which you can access by clicking the image on the blog. So if this excites you, and it should, because, I mean, even if you don't really market on Facebook, you can leverage the data that Facebook has. I mean, if you have an email list or some sort of custom audience, even a local business, if you have a custom audience of phone numbers that you can upload, instead of paying someone like, I believe, Rapeleaf to pull back customer data and demographics, you can use Audience Insights to pull back this data and demographics. And then, hey, while you're there, wouldn't be a bad idea to set up some Facebook ads as well. So if you guys are kind of stumped maybe on your business or what Audience Insights can really do for you, reach out, leave a comment. On our blog, we have the Ask Us Anything. You can leave a voice comment, which I will answer in the podcast if it's a good comment or question. Or, leave us a question on the blog. I respond to all of them personally. Let us know maybe how you're going to use Audience Insights, or you're a little stumped and you're saying, Sweeney, how is this going to help my concrete pouring business? Well, if you ask, I will tell. Next up, we have Ben Pate, and he chats with a newbie who closed his first pay-per-click client at $10K a month. So hand clap. I mean, that's pretty exciting. And this is a hangout between the two of them. So he's speaking with Jeff Master, who recently closed his first client in the PPC space, and he goes through the process that he used, and he shows you exactly how he did it in less than 30 minutes. So this is something I'm going to, the kind of content I'm going to start bringing around a bit more as far as clients and landing clients, because I would imagine a lot of us in this industry, we're either selling a product online or we're helping clients, consulting, and they're probably selling a product online, or maybe they're selling physical goods, but they're selling them online. So I think this client aspect and consultant aspect is something we haven't talked about as much before, but I'm planning to bring up more and more. Next up, we have Owletter keeps tabs on your competition's email marketing. So let me ask you, have you ever signed up for a website not because you wanted what they were offering, but because you wanted to see how they were offering it? Now, I'm talking about your competitors or some of the top marketers in the space. I know I have a swipe email file where I'm signed up to these different competitors' emails, and I get emails. It can be a little overwhelming at times. Even though I have things filtered and I have content set up, you still kind of have this nagging feeling that you need to clear through it. So what Owletter aims to do is they basically store this information for you, helps you keep tabs on the competition. So their elevator pitch is Owletter captures and stores your competitors' email marketing in one convenient place forever. You also will gain insights on their design changes and the trends that they're capitalizing on. Now, what I really like about Owletter is there's a free plan. You're able to monitor 3 competitors and store the emails for 3 months. So, I mean, generally, I would say there's probably a top 3 that I look to see what kind of offers they're promoting, how they're promoting them. You know, are they doing limited time sales? Are they closing cart? And what kind of emails they're sending to promote them. And then when I need to create my own emails, my own promotional emails, boom, I just cracked that open. I got fresh inspiration, and we're good to go. So I really like being able to, you know, sign up for a free version of this software. I love software that has, you know, some freemium built in. So sign up, and, you know, if you already have a few competitors you're keeping tabs on, check it out. And you might like it, and it might be worth it. I mean, I think one of the plans starts at $4 a month, and it stores emails forever. So that sounds pretty awesome to me. Next up, we have Conversion XL taking a controversial stance in defense of the pop-up. Now, why would they defend the pop-up? Well, safe to say pop-ups get a lot of hate. I feel like a lot of people probably hate pop-ups. I mean, I don't think anyone would ever elect to see more pop-ups on the web if they could. So it's curious. If everyone seems to hate them, why do people still use them? Well, Conversion XL builds a very strong case why. Now, their conclusion and the quick answer is they account for 30% more subscribers each month for Conversion XL. Now, they go into detail on a little bit of the different reasons why they find it works well and some of the objections you might have to using one, but what the data says. So one of the first things they mention is one of the reasons it works so well is it's a pattern interrupt, which makes sense. And whether you personally love it or hate it, they say the truth is sticking a big old pop-up in their face can be one of the most effective ways to jolt their attention and grab their email for a return visit. Now they go on to mention 2 examples, WordPress Beginners and a SEO blog. Now, WordPress Beginners use exit intent pop-ups, so when someone goes to leave, a pop-up comes up. On their blog posts, not site-wide, and they saw an increase of signups by 600%. I mean, if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what is. So they went from 70 to 80 daily subscribers to around 445 to 470. Now this other SEO site went from 1.7% signups, and over the next 2 days they went up to 4% and then 5.7%. Now I know that's pretty small sample size and that data can kind of be skewed, but I think the examples they're given are still pretty sound. Now the first question that I think almost everyone should have is, what about my users, right? I mean, and as you can see here, if you're watching the video, they actually just had a pop-up pop up, so they practice what they preach. So what about bounce rate and user experience? Bounce rate is certainly a factor, and user experience is as well. Well, Dan Zarella, I hope I said that right, came to a similar conclusion, and he ran a test. So basically, for what appears to be a 2-month period, he ran no pop-up. Now his subscription rate dropped drastically, but it doesn't really seem, I mean, if you look at this data, it doesn't seem to have affected his bounce rate almost at all. I mean, you can see little flashes where it helps some, but really as far as the data, I mean, it really does not seem to affect the bounce rate that much. Like, I mean, I'm talking like you can't even see a difference if you're looking at this image. So that makes a pretty solid case, and as I said, he was getting around 50% less subscribers. So even the small amount that it might be hurting it, for double the subscribers, can you really argue with it? I don't think so. Now they go on to make the point that bad pop-up integration is harmful. So you want one of 2 pop-ups. So they like either big-ass overlays, which they call them, and user scrolling triggered pop-ups. So the pop-ups that kind of bounce out of the bottom right corner after you've read some of the blog, that would be your user scrolling trigger pop-up. The Bounce Exchange and some of these other sites that have a big one that pop up right in front of you, that's kind of the big overlay. or even one of the smaller ones that kind of blurs out the screen or dims the screen. Now, how soon should you show your email pop-up? SumoMe, which is one of the free options given, recommends from their data about 5 seconds. So as far as the emails collected, the 5 seconds one just really trumps the 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. Definitely seems like the kind of thing you should test, and keep in mind, are you using exit intent? Are you using, the user scroller to the bottom right? Now the next question that might come up too is how often should you show this pop-up? And basically they provide data here, but it's kind of inconclusive. I would love to see an option where you could kind of cookie users, and if they've signed up for your subscription list, you're not always hammering them with the pop-up as much. I think that personally would be nice, but I could see where that might be hard to set up. So as far as how often to show, I mean, the data literally that they show is, one is show it a minute before showing the pop-up again, so I'm guessing next time they're on the site. One is showing it a month, and then the next one's the day, and the minute and the month are basically exactly the same as far as the data. So that really doesn't, personally to me, I don't think that gives me a clear conclusion. So with everything being said, the two free options are SumoMe by AppSumo that they recommend, and OUI Bounce, OUI Bounce. And there's a few different paid options. So Bounce Exchange, PickReal, Marketizer, or Marketizator, Exit Monitor, Opt-in Monitor, and Pop-ups. So POPU.PS. Now, as I mentioned in conclusion, they're getting 30% more subscribers every month due to these pop-ups. So they kind of speak on their own now, and I know we've talked about them before. So I think it's something we're going to have to test, and I'm probably going to try to pull some data myself here and report back to you guys, and kind of be open about the process. So we'll see. Next up, Facebook finally started rolling out these image-focused sidebar ads. So you've probably heard about these new right-hand side Facebook ads before. Now they're finally here. So what do we need to know now that we have this new ad format? Well, for right now, the ads that meet specs of these new the new image specs to have the bigger ad are going to be rendered in the large format. Ads that aren't eligible will render in the original smaller format. So if you do upload an ad that plays by the rules of the new bigger ads, it's going to work. If you still upload an old ad, it's also going to work. Now moving onward, you should expect a moderate increase in CPMs for the right-hand side. This should be kind of obvious. If it isn't, it is because bigger ads means fewer ads overall and more competition for smaller space. Real estate. On August 1st, all new right-hand side ads will be subject to the 20% text policy. So that kind of sucks for some people. Now on September 1st, the 20% text policy will apply retroactively to existing right-hand side ads, and they will also stop rendering the original smaller format ads. So if you have a right-hand side ad that has 20% text, or the original side that's converting very well, my suggestion to you would be to start testing now to be ready to replace it and just milk that thing as much as you can, because it's going to be phased out sooner than later. And I would not be surprised if they give some sort of favoritism to people that are meeting the new ad specs compared to the old ads as well. Now, our next story, this is one of those headline stories I like to call them, where basically the whole story is in the headline. Facebook changes newsfeed algorithm to reflect video usage. So the video takeover continues. I've been talking about video and video on Facebook for a little while now, and it definitely seems to be moving in that direction. How much video will end up on Facebook, how much video ads will end up on Facebook, and how long they will stay, I do not know. But it is moving in that direction currently. So Facebook has been using new ways to make sure users see the videos most relevant to them, and video viewership on Facebook has doubled in the past 6 months. Next up, we have what I called working for free, an unconventional marketing tactic that works. So this one tip came from a post, 7 Unconventional Marketing Tactics That Work by QuickSprout, aka Neil Patel. Now, what I really like about this one is it breaks down what the one tip that you might consider responsible for Neil Patel's massive success. Now, sure, a lot more went into creating who Neil is and what he is today, but this is certainly a large part. I've met him personally. He's a good friend of one of my very good friends. We've shared dinner together and such, had drinks. And I can really tell you, I mean, he is a hard worker. Like, he is not the kind of person that, you know, is out partying all the time, or like, he just likes to work and work. And he's very good at what he does, but he did kind of pop up onto the map out of nowhere, right? I mean, you know that he worked with TechCrunch, or you know that he worked with some of these other companies, but how did he get there? How did he go 0 to 100 real quick? That's a little reference for some of you out there. And so they bring it back down to working for free. So let me break this down as he said it. The best thing I did for my career was to help out A-list web celebrities for free. When I did this, I didn't have a well-known brand, and no one cared about who I was. My strategy was simple. I emailed the well-known entrepreneurs and gave them free advice. In exchange, I asked them to tell their friends about me and refer business. Not only did my revenue go up, but my reputation as a good online marketer improved as well. If you're wondering how you can leverage this strategy for your business, you can just copy the steps I took. For fun, I decided to add up all the income this tactic helped me generate. Can you guess how much revenue it brought? From the first deal to the last one, it helped generate $2.8 million. That's not too shabby for sending out 46 emails. So he breaks down in these 2 links. He has on Neil's success what I've observed from the sideline. So he links to a post back in 2007, 7 years ago, written by his business partner, who talks a little bit about how Neil has achieved the success that he has achieved. And then in the other link, where he talks about copying the steps he took, he rates how I built my first business through email marketing. And this is a 2013 post. Obviously, we talked about email marketing a bit before. Seems to be a little bit of a reoccurring theme here. But I really like it in the sense of, how can I go from someone with some skills, but not really the reputation and not really the proof, to a more high-level consultant, or, you know, having high-level clients? Here you go. Here's the method that built Neil. If it built Neil, it can definitely build you, and he's not in a bad position at all. Next up, we have how to build a great webinar from the ground up and examples that don't suck. I was a little bit disappointed in this blog post because I don't really feel like they broke down how to build a great webinar from the ground up. I feel like they kind of sold me the stuffing but didn't give me the turkey. I don't know. They do have 8 great examples though, and that is why I kept it here. Really, this is just a great list of webinars that are very good, almost like a swipe file, breaking down different webinars and what they provided, and different people that teamed up for them. So if you are looking to do webinars, check it out. If you're trying to build your own and you're kind of retooling it, need some inspiration, there you go. Next up, we have how to build an evergreen launch funnel with lead pages. And the reason I posted this, you know, we do use lead pages. We use them. We love them. I'd be surprised if you haven't heard of them yet. And I don't want to just focus on the lead pages. You know, I don't want this to just be a glorified lead pages advertisement. More so, I want to focus on the importance of evergreen launches. A lot of marketers out there focus on the product launch. You know, we focus on this one big, massive push, you know, and then the product tends to go on the back burner. Building strong evergreen funnels is the key to real long-term success, in my personal opinion. You've already built the product, the copy, the emails, and you should have some sort of funnel. So why not find a way to keep it flowing? Especially with Facebook traffic being as easy it is to get into now, Twitter traffic, and these other traffic sources, it's just too easy isn't the right word, but it's a lot more easy to get into paid traffic and being able to keep your product and your launch going forward and moving forward. Now, next up, and we will close out with this article, the Financial Times on why they ditched CPMs, which stands for cost per impression, generally cost per 1,000 impressions, for a new ad currency, time spent. So I think this is a very interesting trend, and I wanted to bring mention of it. The Financial Times recently announced that it will sell display ads based off the time its audience spent with content. According to John Slade, commercial director of digital advertising for the Financial Times, the newspaper's readers are spending 6 times more time on the Financial Times than on similar business sites. They say that they are focused on building a brand that reflects quality, and they feel this change reflects it. I think this is a pretty interesting and bold move, and overall I like it. They're saying, hey, we're not going to just play by these old rules. We're going to change the metric that we base what our advertising dollars on our site are worth. Now, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Like I said, we have the SpeakPipe on the site, so you can leave a voice message or leave a comment. Do you think that this might become the trend and that other advertisers and brands might move towards time spent over CPMs, especially content producers and blogs? I'm personally kind of interested. I mean, it's a bold move, and it'll be interesting to see if it catches on or if anyone else does use it. But, I mean, you got to think, for as long as CPMs have been around, will time spent become the new CPM? Obviously, we have cost per click and a few other ways, but it seems like one of the first times that time spent is being used. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, if there's someone out there that really knows ads and has been doing their homework and I'm wrong, I have no problem being corrected. So I'd like to close out and thank all of you for joining me for another wonderful Friday Reload. This was Friday Reload number 8. Head on over to the blog, digitaltriggers.io. Check us out. Drop in, say hi, leave us a comment, leave us a message. I hope the audio was better this week. I have the full setup here. We got the Rode Podcaster arm, we got a shock mount, we have the pop filter, and we have the Blue Yeti. So I snuck that out of the office, and I'm using it at the home office, so I hope that audio is coming through great for you guys. Now, my last thing that I will leave you guys with, if you stuck with me this long, you must like me, and most likely I like you too. So please leave a review or rating. It's a very easy way to, kind of reach out to me. I read every single review. I get them emailed almost every day at this point. And let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Honest reviews, obviously what we're going for, and this is going to help us out tremendously to move up in the new and noteworthy and move up in the categories. So thanks a lot for listening. Get ready for that outro music, and I hope to see you on Tuesday when we have Joe Troyer on for another episode of the Triggercast.